action. So make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. We want you guys live with us, get the plays in real time, and join the conversation over in our chat room. We always appreciate a lot of smart minds here that follow our show, and also follow us on the Discord. Click the link in our chat box, and that's where the conversation continues there over in our Discord. I said lots of smart people over there in our community delivering their plays, and of course a lot of props as well as player props, and a lot of action there. So check them out over there if you would. Let you note of a few things. Our promo code, you can save 20% off all pre and pick packages. When you use that promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access our page. Click the link in the description, click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. We always welcome your comments, and you can also post your picks in the comments below. We greatly appreciate that. Remember, we're Tony'sPicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers in our industry, documented results here. You can see our top performers here for the year: Ramon, Hollywood Sam, Mindy, Ralph, Raymond, Josh. These guys doing great work. Take a look over the last 7 days and 30 days, and you'll see Collins as well as Tiffany on fire here on our site. Daniel performing well. Click the links, get signed up. Our latest pre and picks, center of the page. Click the tab for best bets if you're looking for a best bet. Our cappers can release one from each sport. We're locked and loaded here for Monday. $15 pre and pick. You want to get introduced to our cappers? You can do that. They take a play from their card and make it $15 premium promotional to introduce their service to new and existing customers. We're locked and loaded here for action on Monday. Multi-packs offer great value as well, and you'll see them there. Profit guarantee, meaning they must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back to your account for site credits. That is profit guarantee. And of course, center of our page is our pick ticker. Some folks like to know what they're getting, so we developed this pick ticker system where you can see the play team versus team, and you can buy them a la carte. Also, profit guarantee on the a la carte plays. All right, let's get this one underway for today. With us today, we have Ramon Scott and Mindy Hahn. So let's get underway here with Game Day Picks. So welcome in Mindy Hahn. You'll catch her over at Tony'sPicks.com. Having a great 2023. Catch her on the morning steam Wednesdays through Mondays here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Ready to roll here with Mindy. Mindy, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Tony. So yeah, no morning steam tomorrow. You have to find everyone in the Discord for picks.
That's right. Check out the Discord. We got the link there in the box there. And of course, lots of great contributions there from everybody there, our community. All right, Mindy, here we go. Major League Baseball for tonight's action. 9:40 Eastern Time. Cubs impressive there in Dodger Stadium. They just keep winning series. That's been the news there. We know what the Athletics were and what they are and what they're going to continue to be until they find a new stadium. But anyway, Cubs favored here. Total sits at 8.
Yeah, the A's have not been winning series here as of late, but these two teams haven't really met each other for a while. Haven't played since 2019, actually, but the Cubs, they do have I would say the edge a little bit on this A's team. They've won the last 7 out of 10 meetings here overall. I like how the Cubs have been playing on the road. Just talked about how they took 2 of 3 from those Dodgers. The A's haven't fared so well. Like I said, they've lost 4 in a row now. And, I guess the only good thing is they have been taking a little bit of cash here on the money line versus that Mets team. Did have to go to extra innings and won, and also played pretty well in the other. So, maybe it's something that we can take a look at, that this A's team might, be able to be competitive, right? So on the morning steam here this morning, we did go ahead and take the Cubs. So there's a free pick for you. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the total. I'm going to go over the total here in this one. This Cubs team, they're scoring almost 6 runs a game here on the road while giving up 3. And the A's are only scoring 3 runs while giving up 7. So now the Cubs face a pitcher here with Moeller where, he allows a ton of, home runs per 9, 7.7 walks per 9. And, basically it's like neither team's, pitcher can really strike anyone out. They only average, 1K per 9 innings of work here. So I have this one modeled going over. I have it coming in at around 10 or 11. So I think they can definitely get over the total of 8 here today with maybe, not so great a pitching. It sounds like a lot of runs scored and not so great a bullpens here in this one, Tony.
All right, Mindy, here on Cubs Athletics, over a total of 8. Of course, it is a big ballpark there in Oakland, Mindy. And, we always talk about when they're hitting the home runs, they have difficulty, especially with those fly ball hitters in Oakland. But again, it's different times now where you're kind of looking for contact. And of course, if you're a contact hitter and you spray the ball around, you're going to find a lot of openings there in that big ballpark, and the gaps and the power alleys and whatnot. You can drop them in there. I think that's something to keep an eye on there in Oakland, to see how that ballpark plays now that we're kind of looking for line drive contact.
Yeah, but if you kind of take a look at, the Angels, they were able to put up about 6 runs a game there in Oakland's home field there. So, I mean, I don't think it's anything that the Cubs can't do. And we kind of talked about that a little bit here. It seems like a lot more teams are actually kind of manufacturing runs if you take a look at it. I know there's quite a few teams that are just, really knocking it out of the park. But the Cubs aren't really one of those teams, right? I mean, they tend to go ahead and, play the small ball kind of game, hitting lots of doubles, getting guys in, being smart on the base pass. And that's the thing here too, right? We're talking about these pitchers that give up a lot of walks and don't strike out too many. So that, I think, sets up for this kind of same situation where we're going to have a lot of runners on base. Key is always going to be if we can go ahead and hit those guys in. And the Cubs, seem to get that done here on the road, or at least thus far. And then also, I talked a little bit about the bullpens here. The Cubs, they have the 4.22 ERA, 68 Ks, and 22 earned runs. Well, 5.88 here is the ERA for this A's team. They have 50 strikeouts, but they have 44 earned runs. So they're basically twice as bad as this Cubs bullpen here as well. So also looking for some late inning antics by this Cubs team is what I'm hoping for anyway.
All right, Mindy here. The play is in here from Mindy. It's Cubs Athletics over a total of 8 runs. This one will have a start time here, 9:40 Eastern time. All right, Mindy, let's take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com for tonight's action. We see the great results here for 2023, 756 units of profit. All documented over at Tony's Picks. So when you go over to Mindy's handicapper page, go down to her pick history, you can see every play there that is listed there on that she's posted. And tonight we have 3 NBA games. Hockey begins the hockey playoffs. I mean, with all this NBA action, I don't think hockey made the right move here. You should have started the playoffs before the NBA, because no one's talking about you. No one's talking about you right now.
It's like the first time that hockey's kind of, gotten in on error there, where they didn't get ahead of this NBA season. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, right? That's right.
It's they usually get a head start, and then we'll see how it rolls today. Still a lot of baseball on the board. Still Angels 5-1 here up on Boston here in the 6th inning. I think we're in the 5th inning still. Boy, it's been a long
spin.
Yeah, they're back on. They started here bottom at about 40 minutes ago. And they played 2 innings since, so back in there. Although they went to the both team, I think they went to the bullpen here with that long. Yeah, rain delay there. So both teams went to the bullpen here. But anyway, many great results here. We got about 11 games still in prime time left to go. Actually, no, we still have 12 games because this is the early show. So we have 12 games left to roll. What do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Well, I'm going to be in all 3 professional sports here today. This Kraken team isn't going to get beat until tomorrow. But there's some good ones here tonight. So I do have one of my best bets out there for the National Hockey League. As I said, we'll be in on NBA as well. I don't think the playoffs have disappointed, or at least in my view here thus far. We had, this Heat team come out here and play pretty stellar. And I always think it's great when teams can make their best performances when they need it in the times of, in the playoffs here especially. But also going to be in heavy here today in this Major League Baseball card. I think it's a good card. I like it. So put together a package there for you as well. But again, you can always take a look at something a little bit long-term to get the bigger bang for your buck, right? Because there's no sense in paying, you might as well just pay as little as possible per pick if you're making that choice to let us go ahead and help to invest your bankroll here in sports betting. So yeah, take a look at a 7-day pass, month-long pass, or even a yearly pass. That's probably the way to go. As you can tell, we've been having a good 2023 thus far and planning on keeping that going. I love Major League Baseball, so I'm always excited. It's this time of year. I feel more comfortable with, the bat and ball game here, Tony. But yeah, make sure you use the promo code TonyT at checkout as well.
Promo code Tony T at checkout, and you'll save that 20% off. Of course, Mindy today, checkout. She's having an action. You check the pick ticker. She has a lot going on today, guys. Get them on the long-term passes. That 7-day pass is the way to roll here. Get all of Mindy's premium plays here for 7 days. Remember, we're in action here with NBA just about every day. NHL playoffs every day. We've got the baseball here every day. So lots of action right now. And, of course, on that 7-day pass. And, of course, this also will cover any late steam plays. If Mindy sees something she likes late, we allow our cappers to post the plays in late. As long as they put them in between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time, that will trigger our system to email the subscriber in there to their inbox with that play. That's only on the late steam. The rest of them you got to type it, get in there by 11 a.m. Eastern time to get the premium plays. But the late plays are allowed by our cappers or by our systems, because you'll see them late steam. You'll see that throughout our site, late steam plays if you check the pick ticker. So those are also included in the long-term passes. That weekly pass, a great way to test introduce yourself to Mindy's service there, and of course that promo code will save you that 20% off. So really good value there. I think it's about $36 off right now when you use that promo code Tony T at checkout. You can access Mindy's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and then you'll land right on Mindy's page and go ahead and get signed up. All right, Mindy, it's always I have you great on the show. But again, a lot going on. We can find you. We put up a Twitter account for you at Tony Speaks Mindy, which you control. It's your keys, your keystrokes there at Tony Speaks Mindy. Also the morning steam, a day off tomorrow, but lots on the archive with lots of coverage from NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, as well as baseball, and of course the Discord where you can find you as well.
Yeah, I just controlled the Twitter account a couple minutes ago before I got on the show here to make sure I had it up. My play is going to be between the Rangers and the Royals. If you want to check that out, make sure you get on Twitter at Tony's Picks Mindy there. You can check out my pick for Kauffman Stadium here tonight in the cold weather in the Midwest. That's why I have to wear my coat today. I'm cold. I liked it when it was 85 degrees, a little bit better. But yeah, we're off tomorrow. I get to sleep in. I get to refresh after staying up so late. These, basketball games that start at, like 10 o'clock my time. I'm like, this is ridiculous, and wake up early. You can catch us again on Wednesday, where we'll be back for a full card of professional sports again. We're going to cover everything that you need to see in Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL. And what a good time to get on the show where you're getting in on these playoff games as well. It's a lot of fun, and we're getting close. I think WNBA starts May 19th, so we're almost getting close there to where we can get you in on those month-long packages to get you covered for the WNBA as well. So that's pretty exciting stuff. But make sure you go ahead and join us in the Discord as well, where we kind of continue the conversation from the Morning Steam show. We have a lot of folks in there posting their plays, their player props. I know today I was getting the $10 free same game parlay on hockey and in the NBA. So it's a fun time for me. To put out my free $10 and listen to what the folks in the chat have to say, because they're better at all that prop stuff than I am, that's for sure. That's right. Of course, you can check out the Discord. A little picture of Brian Bayo there from Butterscotch. I call him Fado. Fado, Mr. Fado. Last year it was just just in all fairness, and we make fun of the Dominican Bayo. He came in really, with a lot of accolades, and he just got hammered. I mean, of course he faced Toronto, I think, in his first 2 starts, and it was just a bad start. He would just get hammered. It was hammer time, and there you go. But a lot of good picks there from the community. Gets the Scotch Lock. He's active in there. You can see all these plays posted by our community. And again, we have a very smart community of cappers here in this. I call them cappers because they cap and bettors. I should call them bettors, right? They're betting the games and capping the games as well. So they put their picks up there, then share with you. And these are a lot of the pretty much all the smart folks that you see here in our chat room. And what we've done here is we've just kind of kept this Discord between the live audience. I don't distribute on all the videos that I shoot, but it's just the live audience, and I kind of like it that way because we know everybody. They sign in there with their YouTube moniker, so we kind of know who they are, and it's a real smart group of handicappers there that follow you. Of course, if you follow the Morning Steam, you will follow the great picks that the community puts in there as well. So great stuff in there, guys. So check it out there on the Discord, and you can follow Mindy there on the Twitter at
Tony Six Mindy. It's her keystrokes. You'll also find any offers that she has. If you want to follow Mindy, you can follow her there. She'll put plays up there. She'll also tell you what she's got going on over at the site. If you want to catch up on what's going on over on Tony's Picks on Mindy's service, you can also follow her there. Really good thing to do. All right, Mindy, as always, great having this show. Keep up the great work, and we'll catch up with you again on tomorrow.
Awesome. I'll be here. We'll see ya.
You got it. Mindy Hahn here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're here on Game Day Picks Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. We want you guys live with us. Join us in the chat room. Join the conversation in the chat room as well, if you would. All right, before we get to the next play, Ramon will join us here in just a second here. Let's just keep an eye here on what we got going on. The scores right now, Angels and Red Sox in actions, 5-1, bottom of the fifth. So we go to the sixth inning now. Davidson on the mound here for the Angels. It was a long rain delay. They began the game about 45 minutes ago. Restarted back on MLB Network. They didn't black it out here in LA. They forgot to. coming back from the rain delay. I've got it here on the MLB Network. So keep an eye on that one. All right, let's continue on here on a Game Day Picks. Now it's time for Ramon Scott. Catch him over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll bring in Ramon right now. Ramon, what's happening?
Yeah, maybe a tough day to play a baseball game in Boston, but pretty good conditions if you like to run 26 miles.
Yeah, it looks no doubt about that here. It would be a good day as well. I don't know what I did here with your graphic. Maybe I forgot to get the graphic. I think I forgot to get your hockey graphic in.
Oh, okay.
That's what I forgot. But I think that's what happened is that I forgot to get your graphic change in there. But anyway, you're going hockey today with us, Ramon.
Yeah, so Tony, you were talking about nobody wanted to talk hockey. I guess you're taking it literally there without graphic. Come on, brother, this is it. Start of the NHL playoffs tonight. And, we'll be watching, of course, with Minnesota and Dallas going to be the game that I'm looking at. 4 games in action tonight as we roll into the postseason. Tonight, the Stars hosting the Minnesota Wild. 20 years ago, the Stars were Minnesota. Remember that. But now 2 franchises here. Minnesota, they've been to the playoffs 10 of the last 11 years, but have just 1 series win to show for that. This is usually it for Minnesota. Quarterfinals, and they're done. For Dallas, they've had a little bit more success, but they were ousted last year in the first round by Calgary in 7 games. So this one probably pretty tight, close to the best. You have for Minnesota, it'll be Gustafson in there in goal. Now, he's the number 2 for Minnesota, but maybe just, in the media, right? I mean, he probably is number 1. Fleury did not look good down the stretch. It was Gustafson that finished with a 2.10 goals against during the regular season. That was second in the National Hockey League. So Gustafson gets the call here. Maybe he's the number 1. You don't want to offend anyone like Marc-Andre Fleury. So, you leave him with the number 1 tag. But Gustafson gets the call in game 1 against Jake Oettinger, the 25-year-old from Minnesota, by the way, near Minneapolis, St. Paul. So I think Jake has a little extra something for Minnesota. He was strong this season. We know that. 37 and 11 11 overtime games, 7th in the league in goals against, just a 1.81 goals against in his playoff career, but just 3 wins and 4 losses for Jake in his postseason appearances. Versus Dallas last year in the quarterfinals is when he had, or versus Calgary last year in the quarterfinals, and I mentioned that 7-game series, he had all 3 victories with a 1.82 goals against. So you see how that series went against Calgary, and this is against Minnesota, a team that, well, they're a little bit more like Dallas, I would say, than Calgary was last year. And Oettinger, with 3 wins and a 1.82 goals against, you can see how closely contested that series was last year. I expect this one probably to be just the same. They split 4 regular season meetings between the 2 teams, 2 of them going to overtime, and they also went 1-1 on each other's home ice. Now, I will mention 4 out of the last 5 games in this series have gone under, including 3 straight. 7 of the last 10 meetings in Dallas have gone under as well. You have a Dallas team, like I said, they're third in the league in defense. They allow just 2.62 goals per game. Meanwhile, Minnesota, they allow just 2.67 goals per game, which is 6th in the league. Now, I mentioned Minnesota, Tony, does not usually get past the conference quarterfinals. In their last 16 games, they've gone 5-11 to the under in conference quarterfinals. They're also just 4-13 in this round. That's why they've failed to get out of the round and often have been in one-sided series. So I think this one can be closer, but Minnesota just has 11 wins in their last 42 trips into the Metroplex. But Minnesota, they've lost 4 straight games against teams above 500 down the stretch. That was why they faltered a little bit, had to scramble. Dallas wasn't they were hot down the stretch, but they just didn't have enough for the Colorado Avalanche. Dallas won 6 straight to end the season in 8 of their last 9, falling just short of Colorado, which eventually won the division. So Minnesota, remember, they were in contention with Dallas, with Colorado, and they fell all the way to 3rd. So they lost home ice, and that's why Dallas has this important advantage against Minnesota in a closely contested series. Dallas has also gone 0-5-1 to the under in their last 6 games at home, and against teams that finish against teams above 500, 14-35-5 to the under for Dallas. So we think of Dallas, their strong offense that they had, especially in the early part of the season with Robertson and Ben and Pavelski, but really they kind of reverted to the Dallas that we know a little bit more with lower scoring games in general as the season went along. That still a good for Dallas. This has been a very strong offensive season for a team that maybe has relied more on defense in the past. So maybe that's why they're maybe just a little bit better than Minnesota here. Now for Minnesota, they are missing Ekström, who is nearing a return. He was hit by a puck earlier in the month, I believe, a couple weeks ago, maybe 10 or 11 days ago against Pittsburgh. He's missed the action ever since, but Eriksson Ek nearing a return, resuming skating just in the past couple of days. So he will be back for Minnesota, but when is the question, and they need him. I mentioned those struggles a little bit down the stretch, winning just 2 of their last 7 games in regulation. They went 2-3-2 in their last 7 games to fall to 3rd place. So they haven't won a series, Tony, since 2015. So it's going to be tough for Minnesota, I think, to win this series, but they might have what it takes to make this series go 5, both teams winning on each other's home ice. So I'm going to look to go under. I'm going to look to go under in a lot of games, Tony. I guess I didn't need to spend 5 minutes talking about hockey here, I guess, but we want to hear about it. We want to know about these games. I'm just kidding you, but probably hear me say the word under a lot in the postseason. I'm going to start right here with Minnesota and Dallas tonight.
All right, Ramon here going Minnesota and Dallas going under total here of 5.5 goals. Of course, Dallas with that good run to close this season, holding teams with 2 goals or fewer. It looks like in about 7 of their past 9. And how much of this form you think you saw at the end of the season carries over?
Well, I think the talk is that because of Ottinger, that really, look, we know when you can ride the heels of a goaltender is often huge news when it comes to the postseason in the NHL. I think Jake is that guy. He's still young, so whether or not he can carry it into the future rounds, I'm not sure. Let's give him a chance here. I mean, he will be the guy that the Dallas Stars will ride. I think a lot of their success has had to do with the outstanding season of Oettinger. So I think that's key for them, and I think that makes them a contender in the I'll say it, wide open West. I mean, which team can you really put on top in the West? Sure, you had the way that Colorado performed this season. You're on top until you're not. I think Colorado certainly is. They end up winning the division just barely, like I said, over Dallas. And in the Pacific, I don't know. I think the teams there are kind of have their own issues as well when you talk about the top teams in the Pacific. I mean, yes, sure, Edmonton, explosive, but do they have the defense for the Golden Knights? They ended up finding a way, but to totally revamp your goaltending situation in the last month of the season in what on paper looks to be a downgrade at goal, and then the Kings, great season for the Kings. Inconsistencies still there, especially on the road. So how will the Kings fare? So I think in the wide open West, Dallas as good a shot as any of those teams. Ride the hot hand, ride the hot goalie, and I don't know if you look up and down. Yeah, Gurdjieff of Colorado certainly can be the man as well, but I'm just not sure that any of these teams have the capable goalie as I think maybe Dallas. I'd put Oettinger up there. I'd put Gurdjieff up there, but I'm not sure I'm ready to include the likes of Gustafsson, who I call him a backup. I think he's number one for Minnesota here. Maybe we'll see Fleury in 3 of the games. I'm not sure, but Edmonton, Skinner's been very, very solid, but the style of play for Edmonton, does that transcend into the playoffs? As far as the Kings, Korpisalo gets a starting nod in the opener, and also, like I said, for Vegas, Quick is the guy, but I think we'll see Brossois in there as well. Maybe they'll mix it up a little bit. They won't be standard on just one goalie. I think Dallas, with Oettinger, that's the key, and I think you'll see him, I don't know, probably in, I'd say 5 of the games for sure, and maybe 6 in this series. Again, in the postseason, you're going to ride with your number 1 almost every time, and the number 2 gets a shot. A lot of times, if you get out to those series leads, the 2-0s, the 3-0s.
All right, Ramon here. Wild Stars under the total 5.5 goals. This one have a start time 9:30 Eastern time. This one over on ESPN2. Hockey Tonight, ESPN and ESPN2. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at TonySpix.com for today's action as we start the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Of course, with 4 games tonight, 3 from the NBA. We still have another 12 on the board for Major League Baseball. We see the results here. Fantastic. 5,600 and 29 units of profit for 2023. That's all documented over at Tony Spix. What do you have going on over at the site?
I have a 5-pack of games tonight in the playoffs. 3 in the National Hockey League, 2 in the NBA. So check that out for just $30 a 5-pack in playoff action tonight in the 2 major playoff sports right there. In the NBA, there's 2 games. I have picks in both of them. In the NHL, there are 4 games tonight. I have premium picks in 3 of them, and you're probably getting the 4th one right here with Minnesota and Dallas. Mindy will be upset that I didn't mention the Seattle Kraken, but I let her do that. So, Tony, that 5-pack tonight is profit guaranteed. Pick it up for $30 and show a profit or get credits back to your Tony's Picks account. Revamping a little bit here on the Major League Baseball tonight. We already saw the 1 game go off with weather conditions pushing the start time back an hour, and then 2 more rainouts tonight. So kind of revamping the Major League Baseball card a little bit. We will be in action, but want to keep an eye on these weather situations. And a few lineups starting to come out now, I see, as well. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Pick up, like many of my subscribers are starting to do, get involved with the long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, and be on board with me. No one specializes in the late steam like I do, so you want to be on board with my program. Tony mentioned the units there. This year, since the calendar year, leading, industry leading, if you will, units production from me here on the site. So the best way to make sure you're involved in all of these games is to go with those packages. Really, the short-term packages, I really think is, if you're looking for a little bit of assistance or just want something for the night, or you're in a hurry and have a handicap, that's certainly a great way to go. Kind of introduce you to what I'm doing. But again, get the 3-day, the 7-day, the 30-day. I guarantee if you get with the 30-day, and even if we show a great profit, but you don't you feel like you've had a good month. You're going to go on it about your own. You're going to learn a lot just by reading my little 4-paragraph write-up on each game during the uh, on the picks, and kind of get a feel for the way I handicap. Maybe it's a little different than everybody else. Maybe that's why I'm on top of these leaderboards like you see there with those strong numbers. So it was a pretty good weekend for me. A little bit of up and down, certainly. Tony, I had one of the bad beats of the year, I thought. I went 2-1 on my MMA card. Tony, I had one fighter in the live betting that was minus 21,000 with just 2 minutes to go, and somehow ended up losing a split decision when the rest of the 2 minutes was fairly uneventful. Didn't really sway the change in the fight, just was bad judging. So I think the internet agreed with that. It wasn't my opinion on that. So anyways, Tony, please pick up a package from me. Get involved. Look, it's early in the baseball season. If you need a little something, come on board with me. Catch my baseball packages. I'll have plays today as well in Major League Baseball. That's the way to do it over at Tony'sPicks.com. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you. Get another week off to a good start, and very excited for these playoffs. Nobody's sitting at other than the injury. We can go to overreaction weekend in the NBA maybe, but these are the games that count. The players will be in there now. No more rest. Let's get everybody in there and let everyone fend for themselves. Who will come out on top in the NBA and NHL? 2 months of fun with the playoffs in the two leagues. So looking forward to it. A little bit more consistency, if you will, than what we saw in these two leagues down the stretch.
That's right, Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. As you can see, I'll flash the results again. Great results, 5,629 units of profit for Ramon, of course, over at Tony'sPicks.com right now. As Ramon said, he's put together a 5-pack here from the playoffs. Fantastic value here. 4 league price, 3 NHL, 2 NBA. They're on the board for $30. But instead of playing these plays individually, you may consider the long-term pass. The way Ramon's running, you may consider that 1-month all sports pass. All Ramon's premium plays here for 30 days. You get 30 days of action from the NBA playoffs as well as NHL playoffs. That'll get you through the first 2 rounds of those playoffs, as well as MLB. Of course, Ramon's also in action with the peripheral sports. He's a follower of the MMA on the weekends when there's cards from UFC as well as Bellator. He's in action there. Maybe look at some Champions League soccer. You never know. We'll see how that rolls there. But get on board with Ramon here with that 1-month pass. We'll save you $66 when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and you'll land right on Ramon's page and go ahead and get signed up. Right, Ramon put together a Twitter account for you, which you control the keystrokes on. Tony's Picks Ramon up there, so they can follow you there with picks. And of course, you like to let people know how you're rolling, and you'll let them a little bit more about your service there as well. Of course, find you on the Discord. And of course, another week of the morning steam in the books. On the archive is a lot of content for today's show.
That's right, Tony. Follow me on Twitter at Tony's Picks Ramon. Probably come at you with a little late action tonight there, and I'll link out my packages as well, so you can get on board. Follow me there on Twitter at Tony's Picks Ramon. I have control. I've been known to be one of those guys on Twitter that gets a little goofy, but hey, not over here when you're talking about at Tony's Picks Ramon. It's just the picks and some other information that I can get to you. So appreciate you guys in the chat, and all of our people in the morning steam. Tony, just a great time. They're very serious, and that's what I like about it. They're coming in with their picks. They're coming in with information. I thought today I relied on the chat a little bit more than usual in Major League Baseball. So really liked the contributions that they had. And I'd say that, I just kind of tailed along a little bit with them today on the bases. I saw what was coming, and I'm not sure that, I think it'll be a fine day. I'm looking forward to the card tonight. Also, come back on Wednesday. Mindy mentioned it. We'll have more morning steam. We're on Wednesdays through Mondays at the Tony's Picks YouTube channel with the morning steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, and 6 Pacific, previewing all the games from the major sports and Some not so major sports, Tony. I went 3-0 in minor league football action yesterday on the show. We don't cover them on Tony's picks, but I hope everyone got involved and played some of those XFL and USFL picks that we were able to throw out there. I only had 3 of the games in the chat, won the 4th one. We swept the board together. So pretty fun time over at Tony's Picks and in the Discord. Join us in there for the conversation. You can hit me up for plays. I don't mind that, and definitely enjoy giving out more free winners over there, or way I'm looking at a game or whatnot. The great conversation with our chat, you mentioned it. It's really just our hardcore mornings team and this show as well, Game Day Picks. The people who are involved in our chat kind of get the invite. You mentioned it, so I think that's why we have the select crowd that we do. They've all come to respect one another and sharing the information. I like seeing those tickets. I like seeing those tickets pregame, especially from the bettors in our chat. Let me see who they're on and give you a feel for it. So yeah, I give you the value when you get my package there. You see what they're saying, and that's because I come in with anywhere from 7, 10, 13 plays a day on the heavy cards. So you look at the cost. Yeah, sure. If you get the package today, Tony, the 5-pack of playoff games for $30, that's $6 a play. Going to need to step up your unit size a little bit. You got to cover the cost. Doesn't sound like much. We're just trying to win. But again, I'm trying to play the game long term. I'm betting the landscape of sports. I'm not just betting 1 game or 5 games, really, when you're with me. I mean, we're attacking these cards from a market perspective. That's why you get the volume that I do. That's why we're able to produce the large number of units. There are some handicappers, and this is a credit to them, Tony, on our site. Their percentage is just as solid as mine. They just don't deal in the volume. So you can step up your action. You can go with them and feel comfortable with the handicappers here at Tony's Picks. Check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. There were other guys hitting close to 60% on our site, no doubt about it, especially over the last 30 days, if you will. So check those guys out as well. We have a strong team here at Tony'sPicks.com. But if you're looking to, my program is going to give you that ability to really rack up some big days. It's kind of like these days, Tony, where, yeah, my number has been hanging out there mid 5 dimes, but boom, all of a sudden I'm able to crank up a couple days in a row with, what I call big days, 8-3, 9-2, 10-2, whatever it is. I come up with, boom, 1-2 big days, and then we're pumping the units up back there again on the website. So we're just making these plays. These plays are all documented. I really want to stress that because maybe you guys are doing well, but I'd like to see a little bit more from you guys getting involved with my program. Take a look at those percentages of mine. All these plays are documented. I enter them in the Tony's Picks website, similar to a sports book. I'm just making these plays that I feel very, very confident in. They're graded by a third-party source, and they're matched up. You see the records there, folks. Take a look at it. Take a look at what I've done since the first of the year. Our calendar, our scoreboard goes back to last year. Look at all those sports. Tony shows it on the screen every time. Look what I did back in 2022 in all those sports. No one on this website had a list of nearly a dozen sports where they won every, finished in the green in almost every sport, major sport that we offer. So please check out my handicap profile page. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb before you put down your hard-earned dollars for a tout. I know it's hard to swallow your pride, but just grab those winners, put them in your back pocket, and add them to your arsenal. You're confident. You want to go out there with your own picks, grab mine as well, and that way you're double loaded for the postseason. So thanks, Tony, for the opportunity, and see everybody in the Discord tonight. We talk playoff action, NBA and NHL.
That's right, guys. Check out Ramon over at Tony's Picks and get signed up. The promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. And, of course, find Ramon's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and you'll land right on his page and get signed up. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
You got Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're with you here on Game Day Picks Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. We want you guys live with us. Get the plays in real time. Get the best numbers and join in the chat room. We always really appreciate that if you would. All right, let's continue on here on Game Day Picks. It's time for my play. Let's just get to my play here in just a second right now. Let's see what the scoreboard looks like right now. The Angels and the Red Sox, they got through. We're in the top of the seventh now. The Red Sox pick up 2 runs. A big error there by the pitcher Loop that allowed a run to score, and then another run came in. So 5-3 now. Angels holding the lead here on the Red Sox. We're now in the top of the seventh in this one. In this game here, this one looks to be pushing the total of 8 runs in this rain delayed game that had began about an hour ago. It had been delayed after the 3rd inning. All right, let's continue on here on Game Day Picks. We know that this one is that game was postponed with the Guardians game. We'll get to my one right now. My game here, Giants and the Marlins here. Marlins are now minus 115. Total sits here at 106. I'm going to be looking here at this game here at the Marlins and lay the minus 119. Now this line source is the sharpest book in the world, so your odds may vary. Do your line shop get the best numbers? I had Marlins here at minus 119 in this one tonight. In Florida, we got Logan Webb on the mound for San Francisco. Now, Webb in 3 starts, an ERA over near 5. Pretty good strikeout rate, good walk rate as well. You know, his push was obviously his start was pushed back because of that weather postponement here for today's game. But Jesus Luzardo has been performing well for Miami. 3 starts, ERA 1.93, WHIP of 1.13. Now this was again Oakland Athletics cutting Luzardo after just a poor start a couple seasons ago. And I really questioned that back at the time, when they cut him, because he was a very promising rookie, had some very promising numbers coming into Major League Baseball, and then had that really bad start. And boom, Oakland just cut him loose really quickly. And it just did not register why they would do something like that, and it probably explains why they're in the situation they are. But Luzardo really found his form here in this season. So the rain delay pushes them back here, but it really comes down to Luzardo's form. And of course, we're looking at how poor the Giants bullpen has been lately this season, and it actually was bad last season, right? That was a big kicker there with this Giants team, and why I think it really limited them last season was their bullpen. And it's usually a good bullpen, but not this year. Again, it looks so far they're off to a poor start. So we'll look at this Marlins team who's performing well at home, and we'll take them in this spot here with Jesus Luzardo here on the hill tonight. All right, guys, check out Tony'sPicks.com. I have 4 premium plays up there for you right now. I've got best bet here up there right now on the board here from Major League Baseball. Also in there, I've got also a 3-pack with my 2 NBAs and MLB as well up on the board right now at Tony'sPicks.com. Matter of fact, you can check it out right over on my profile page right now. We'll put it up here for you right now. Let me always hit the refresh. Always got to hit that refresh key on this one for some reason. So check it out over there at Tony's Picks, as you'll find here that I've got my best bet up there. It's my $15 premium play up there, and my 3-pack where I have my 2 NBAs and a baseball up there. Of course, I do have the long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select when you go to my handicapper page and make that purchase. All right, let's continue on here on Game Day Picks, guys. Keep an eye here on the chat. Looks like Scotty Foster very active on the chat today. Shout out to Scotty Foster. Yeah, Angels bullpen the issue. I'm a little nervous here with the Angels down the stretch. But we'll see how that rolls here down the rest of the way here. Still as we looked at this game, it was 5-3 here, and the Angels now out here in the 7th inning here. So we're still looking here at what do we got here on this one here? I think we're still looking here at that's Giants and Marlins here. We should be going back at the game here between the Athletics and the we got that the Angels and Boston. So let me pull that one up again here. We're on the scoreboard, and we're going to look here at get an update on this game here. 5-3, middle of 7th. Angels just out right now. So we go to the bottom of the 7th here with still 5-3 the Angels and Red Sox. Remember, they started this game back about an hour ago. It was in the third inning, 5-1 Angels, and the Angels giving up 2 runs last inning. So this one's on MLB Network, so keep an eye on that game. Also, some updates here. Guardians and Angels, this one was postponed. They're going to make it up as a doubleheader tomorrow. Rays and Reds still set to roll here. Rays minus 146. Total 9.5 in that one. Marlins is the one that we covered here. Phillies, White Sox, that one was postponed. That will be made up as a doubleheader tomorrow. 2 games there, so a couple of doubleheaders there. We see Rangers and Royals here. Rangers with the big man on the mound tonight, still minus $2. Total 7.5. Diamondbacks and Cardinals. Cardinals favored here, minus 143. We see the total there, 8.5. And Blue Jays and Astros here, ESPN Plus. Blue Jays favored here at this one, minus 117. Rockies and Pirates. Rockies at home here, minus 138. Rich Hill on the mound. This line has come down. It was 12.5 with the total coming down here to 11.5. Of course, this is the sharpest book in the world. Your book may vary here, but yeah, we've seen this one crash down. There was some 12.5s earlier I saw in this one. And also, too, I think there was a pitching change, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw Urena in there. Let me see. On this game here, I think we're looking at here Colorado. We're looking at Freeland Hill still on the mound. I guess I was looking at tomorrow's game. So yeah, Freeland Hill still on the hill tonight for Colorado. Although we are seeing the weather cooling off in Colorado. 71. Remember last week we got into the 80s. So 71 degrees. The wind right to left there in Colorado. Braves and Padres tonight. Braves big favorites here, minus 141 as Fried takes on Weathers, 2 lefties on the hill in San Diego. Cooler temperatures here, 56 degrees, but the wind is blowing out. We do look a small 7% chance of rainfall there in San Diego. There's been a lot of drizzle out here in San Diego, or out here in Southern California, so don't think it'd be too much. Cubs and Athletics here, still Cubs holding minus 132. Total sits here at 8. And we still have Hayden Wesneski and Mueller on the hill tonight. And, of course, Brewers and the Mariners. Brewers minus 141. And here we've got, in this game, Burns and Flexen on the hill. Total 7.5, Milwaukee and the Milwaukee and the Mariners. And Mets and Dodgers tonight. Looks like we've got May on the hill against David Peterson. 8.5 the total, minus 144 Dodgers in this one. The weather in this one, 59 degrees. Looks like the wind is blowing out. We'll see how that impacts the game tonight. But cooler temperatures now in Southern California. We're not getting to the 80s, although I'm hearing it's going to get warm. It's going to really warm up here towards the end of the week. All right, let's get to the recap now. We'll recap the games from today's show. All right, Mindy was on. This lead us off. She liked the Athletics and Cubs over 8 runs. Ramon was on the Wild and the Stars under 5.5. I'll be on the Marlins here, minus 119 here against the San Francisco Giants. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of Game Day Picks. Guys, be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Tony's Picks. They'll go with the plays for you in prime time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and set those notifications. Be live with us. Get the plays in real time to get the best numbers. One quick peek here at the live chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Scotty Foster up there. And, of course, we have a lot of folks in today. Mindy is in there as well. We saw Fernando, Angel Reyes like the Kings money line. Now, you got to tell us, is that the Sacramento Kings or is it the LA Kings? Angel Reyes. We'd like to know that as well. So shout out there. Shout out to Fernando in the chat today as well. So let me give you some time here for Angel Reyes. Let us know. Or actually put it in the Discord whether it was the Sacramento Kings or it was the LA Kings that you like today with your pick. Remember, they're both in action today. Stanley Cup playoffs begin tonight, guys, so make sure you check it out. Remember, our conversation will continue over in the Discord, and that's where we get a lot of our fine community members over there sharing their picks and sharing their knowledge with everybody there in the Discord. So give it a tune in if you would. You could find the link to our Discord right there in the chat box. All right, that's going to do it here for our show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from today. Anyway, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow here on Game Day Picks.